Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a get ready with me Valentine's Day edition. So yeah, if you want to see how I got this look, just keep watching. So I did do my brows off camera and I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo as well as the pomade, and they are both in the shade Taupe. So the next step I will do is prime my lid, and I'm going to be using the Sistar Cosmetics It's You Perfecting Concealer. And this is in the shade Light. I think I really should invest in an eyeshadow primer just because I like the concealer on the lid, but I feel like it just makes my eyeshadow a bit patchy. And I will just bring it all the way up to the brow. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the Morphe x Jeffree Star Artistry Palette. I have not used this yet, and I'm so excited. I got it for Christmas, and I've opened it about once, I think. And I've just been waiting to open it on camera. So, here we go. Seriously, you guys, this is beautiful. Since I am doing a Valentine's Day look, I think I want to stick to maybe this pink and this red. I don't know if I want to do a red lip or a pink lip though, but let's just see. Alright, so I'm just going to start with the shade Calabasas right here. And I'm just using the little Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that comes in the palettes. So I'm just going to start by tapping this in my crease. So I like to start in the middle and then bring it out. And I'm still tapping. I'm just going to do the same thing with the other eye. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with the shade Calabasas. And I'm going in with the Morphe M433. Okay, notice how I'm only tapping the color on this side of the brush, because when I go in on the lid, it won't get up here, it'll stay down here. I'm just going to deepen up that crease a little bit. Now just with any blending brush, I'm just going to do circular motions. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with Lynn, and again I'm just going to tap that right above that first shade. Before I cut my crease, I'm going to go back in with Calabasas on this little dual-ended Bare Minerals blush again, and I'm going to go in with this little bitty side, just so I can really deepen up the crease, but also keep it precise. Keeping my eye relaxed while I do that. Also notice how I'm holding the brush way back here and not up here, just because if you hold it further back, you can have more control. It's gonna look a little crazy at first, but it will all come together in the end. So now I'm gonna go back in with that concealer. So I'm using the Sigma Shader Crease E47 brush. And I like to keep my eye relaxed when I do this, just so I can see where the natural shape of my eye is. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the eyeshadow and kind of just bring it out. Like that. And just remember, you guys, we're going to be cleaning all this up, so it won't look crazy the whole time. Okay, so I'm just going to go back in with Calabasas on that dual-sided Bare Minerals brush. And I really want that crease to pop, so That's why I keep darkening it up. And it's okay if it gets on your lid. We can go back in with that brush that we used that still has concealer left on it. Okay, so I'm going to go in with Don't Know Her, this pink shimmer. And I'm just going to go in with my finger just because I feel like I get better payoff with that. Oh my god. That is the smoothest shimmer I've ever put on my lid. So I will just cover most of it using my finger, and then I will go back in with a brush and do the precise work. Okay, so I'm just going to take this flat concealer brush. I'm not sure where it's from because it doesn't even have a name on it, but I'm going to go back in with Don't Know Her. And I know I've only used like 3 shades in this palette, but so far they are all so good. I will definitely be doing more looks with this. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I will leave it down on the screen or down below in the description box. Okay, so I left this because I want that to be matte. I'm going to be using this tiny little brush, and I'm going to be using this end. I'm not sure where this is from, but it works good. So I'm going to go in with Self-Made. I'm just going to feather it out this way. Wow, that is like neon hot pink. And I'm all the way here for it. I'm going to go back in with that flat concealer brush that had the pink shimmer on it. And I'm just going to kind of like blend that together. Okay, and now I'm going to go back into the hot pink. And I'm just going to keep doing that with the pink and the shimmer until it's where I want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to start on my face and I will come back to my eyes. And I'm just going to take a makeup wipe and wipe away any fallout, which there really wasn't much. So obviously this isn't like my day-to-day makeup, but I did want to try something different. I'm going to go back in with Calabasas, and I'm going to be using the Morphe G28, and I'm just going to tap it on my lash line. For primer, I'm going to be using the Smashbox Primerizer. This stuff is so good for dry skin. For lashes, I'm going to be using my Glam Glitter Society lashes, and these are in the style Angel. And of course, I'm going to be using the best lash glue ever. This is the Duo Dark Tone Lash Glue. Okay, now for mascara, I'm going to be using the Believe Beauty Extended Lash Lengthening Mascara. So now we can move on to foundation. For foundation, I'm going to be going in with the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Liquid Foundation. And this is in the shade Light Natural. This foundation is so good. It's matte, very, very long wearing. And to apply my foundation, I'm going to be using the LC Cosmetics Beauty Sponge. This sponge is literally so good. It has this pointy tip, which is really good for getting in them hard to reach places. So I highly, highly recommend this sponge. And I like to put the foundation on the back of my hand just so it can warm up. Even though this foundation is long wearing and matte, I do have super dry skin, and I can wear this without it making my skin dry or flaky. I'm going to go in with the Morphe G13 brush, and I put a little bit of that foundation on the back of my hand. And this is just going to help me get them hard to reach areas. Okay, and then I'll just take the rest of it on my beauty sponge and do the tops. Concealer, I'm going to be using the Benefit Cakeless Concealer, and this is in the shade number 2. This concealer is so good. It's full coverage, lightweight, so it's not as thick as the Shape Tape, but I feel like I still get the same coverage. If I'm doing a more natural look, I won't put this much concealer on, but since we do have some pink and red madness going on, why not? Now I will say you do have to work kind of quick with this concealer. It does dry a little fast, but honestly it doesn't dry as fast as the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. Yeah, that was way too much concealer I put on. Oh my goodness. Alright, and for setting powder, I'm going to be using the Kylie Translucent Setting Powder. This is actually my second time purchasing this. I really like it. It's just such a light consistency, and it never makes my under eye feel dry. So I'm kind of just going to like press that powder into the skin. Alright, and to set the rest of my face, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. This is in the shade 001 Translucent, Morphe E41. I'm just kind of setting all the places that I did not set with the Kylie powder. So then I'll just take a makeup wipe and wipe the foundation off of my lips. And then I'll go back in with the beauty sponge and just lightly tap over them, just so it's one smooth base. And for bronzer, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. I'll be going in with the Morphe R2. Get the jawline, and then I'll also bring it down the neck a little bit. Then I'll kind of just like squeeze my brush like that. And go in with the bronzer. And I guess I could use a smaller brush to do this, but I'm honestly just lazy. Okay, and of course, the forehead. Okay, and once I have my bronzer on, I'll go back in with that Kylie setting powder and that same sponge. And I'll just clean up my bronzer. And that is the only part of my face that I will bake. Alright, and now for a blush, I'm going to be using the Mora Cosmetics Blossom and Adore Blush Palette. And I'm going to use the shade right here called Fuchsia. And I'm going to be using the Eco Tools Define Brush. Always get your forehead, your nose, and your chin, because we want everything to coordinate. Alright, I'm just going to go in with any brush and just wipe away that excess powder. Alright, and before I do highlight, I'm going to set my face. I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Cucumber Primer Water. I always like to go back in with a beauty sponge and press that into the skin. I feel like this just makes my makeup melt together so pretty. Okay, now for highlight, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Precious Petals Highlighter. Wet n Wild highlighters are my absolute favorite drugstore highlighters. They are just so blinding and also super affordable. I'm just going to hit it right there. My brow bone. Take literally any fluffy brush, and I like to just kind of blend that highlight in so it's not so blinding. And then the inner corner, whoa, and do a little on the nose, right there between the eyes, and a little down the nose. Alright, and to highlight the rest of my face, I'm going to be using the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill JH09. And that was me barely even tapping into the pan. Just a little bit above my brows, and just a little bit on the chin. And then a little bit on my cute bow. For my highlight, I will go back in with the setting spray and the beauty sponge. And this is probably my second favorite thing when I'm doing my makeup, is watching the highlight melt into the skin. Take a look at that. Now it just looks a little bit more natural. But let's be honest, there's nothing natural about this look. Alright guys, we are almost finished. To set my brows, I'm going to be using the NYX Bear With Me Brow Gel. I'm going to take the Morphe E36 brush, and I'm going to dip back into Calabasas. I'm going to go right where that little wing ended, and I'm just going to connect it to my bottom lash line. Go in with that same brush with Self-Made. Now with just any blending brush, I'm just going to go in and do small circular motions and just blend that out just a little bit. Alright, and with that same mascara, I'm going to do my bottom lashes. For my waterline, I'm going to be using the Endless Silky Eye Pencil by Pixie in the shade Black. Alright, for lip liner, I'm going to be using the Bare Minerals Statement Lip Liner in the shade 100%. I think that's the name. It says Statement and it says 100%. I'm not sure, but it's this one. It's red. And I like to just warm my lip liners or even eyeliners up on the back of my hand. It just makes them go on smoother. Okay, so I left the center kind of blank so I could go in with the pink. This is the Kylie Cosmetics Under the Tree Liquid Matte Lipstick. And then I'm just going to go back in with the liner and just blend it. I am obsessed with this palette. It was so good. The pigments, the way they blended, everything was just so good. So I definitely will be using that more. Alright guys, this is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had so much fun making it. I'm absolutely obsessed with this look. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! So all we have left now is lips.